Hello everyone, this is Akhil here from Pulse Energy. This is the second video that I'm making. The first video that I walked everyone through is the how we're going to make a self-serviceable page where you can essentially point your Juicebox chargers into our server. So we are essentially offering this at no cost just to help the stranded residential Juicebox charger users. So one, I want to give you an update on what the progress has been so far. We have the page up and running. We actually successfully ported one Juicebox charger to the home page or the homecharger.pulseenergy.io interface. So it's working perfectly. I'll just show you that as well in this video. But I did want to start off with what's happening with the chargers, right? So bunch of us, we've been working with a community of Juicebox charger engineers and people who are familiar with the firmware. Net, I think the underlying point is the two kinds of chargers that Juicebox has been selling. There's a residential version of the charger and a commercial version of the charger. The residential charger and the commercial chargers, both the very first time it's booted up or powered on, it hits a directory API. The API looks something like this. So it's going to essentially say directory.api.emotoworks with your serial number, and the directory server sends back a response on how your charger should work. That's the crux of it. So if someone needs to move your charger to a third-party system or away from Enel X servers, we have to either speak with Enel X directory servers, this Enel X team, and help them change it for your serial numbers, or we figure out a way to intercept this API request and make the change. So here you can see there's a device OCPP endpoint. This is where you add the servers that we give you, and the protocol needs to change to OCPP. So this is the very first thing that needs to be done. Folks are really hard at work trying to figure out how to intercept this. If Enel X doesn't survive, and they shut down even the directory API on the 11th. So we're trying to figure this out. This could be done either in your Wi-Fi router, where we're essentially spoofing that particular API endpoint or the domain name, and then sending it to another server, which would essentially effectively just give you a mocked up version of what you want it to be. So the way it works is it pings, each of these chargers pings the directory APIs, it gets a set of instructions, and it tells it how to operate, and then it connects to the server and starts communicating to the server. So that's how this works. There might be some encryption in the residential chargers as well. We're still trying to figure it out. But what we have had success with so far is the commercial chargers. We had one user just last night onboard onto an OCPP server. So you can see it is the Juicebox 40. It's essentially from Enel X. So this is all the transactions or just the OCPP logs for that particular charger. It's still online. So the last heartbeat is at 11:50, so it's right now. So it's still online. Now, so two things. So one, we figured out that commercial chargers can be ported over. We're documenting what that process should be. So I'm just going to recap what's next for us. One, document what are the changes that we need to do to intercept commercial chargers and bring them to any third-party OCPP servers. Again, we're doing this in a way where it's not locked into even our systems. You can just point this to any OCPP server out there. You could even host an open source OCPP server and get it done with. What we are trying to do is we're just bringing in convenience. So what are we doing to do that? So I've just show you, so we have this live now. It's called homecharger.pulseenergy.io. If you go there, you can create an account. So you can just click on register email ID, enter your name and email ID, and you can create an account. So I have one account created. So that's my personal email ID, and then just request it, and I get a password. Sorry. So you can see my charger is not online. I can click on view details. I can set schedules. So I've done this by myself, and I can even configure the charger if at all I need to be, and I can click on start charging and start the charging. So this is the experience that you're going to get. The idea here is, again, just showing you this because I want to give you an understanding of what that experience looks like. So hopefully this makes sense. And this will be your main page once it's ported over. So I'm now going to go back to what's next. So again, just to recap, we need to document what are the changes that we can do on commercial chargers, because apparently the commercial chargers have the firmware to support this. Second, we want to try to figure out how to port the same firmware that's in the commercial chargers onto a residential charger too. We believe it's not the same, it's a different one, so we need to figure that out. And once we figure that out, we'll start documenting how to port that residential chargers over. Again, the North Star for us is you do not have to make any sort of complex changes on your end. We try and make changes in your Wi-Fi router, which you yourself can do, and then point it to another server or an endpoint, which would essentially format or message the charger in the way it needs to be communicating outwards. So that's the idea. Hopefully, I'll have a better update next time, but I'm just giving you a quick update on what the progress has been so far. So yeah, hopefully, if you have any questions, do just email me. I'm emailing you this content, or you can just visit our website pulsenergy.io and just fill up the Google form. Happy to help with you. Thank you. Bye.